Happy Friday, sickos. We got Jamie and Rich in studio trying to figure out which Philadelphia athletes are going to be here the longest. Who's going to be the Brandon Graham? Tyrese Maxey? Michkov? Jalix Hunt? I don't know. We'll find out next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast on a beautiful Friday. Jamie Lynch, handsome Rich Hofmann, and Bo Wulf here in studio. How you guys doing? Good to see you.
It's Friday. I'm good.
It's Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Is
You
that
don't remember who sings it?
Isn't that one-hit wonder YouTube girl?
Rebecca Black. She's
Rebecca
amazing.
Black.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a great song. It's a banger. I wish I started every Friday with that song. It's great.
Skylar has music class.
Gotta have my bowl, gotta
on
have
Fridays.
cereal.
And she's told me today, she said, sometime my teacher plays the Friday song.
Love the Friday song.
Yeah. All right.
One of the true heroes of the internet, I would say, Rebecca Black.
She is. I just looked it up. She's 27 years old.
Still only 27. Very well adjusted, I believe. I think I saw an interview with her a couple of years ago.
Did she get rich from that? I hope. It's pretty iconic.
She's
song.
still making some art. Yeah.
I mean, she's got a Spotify link and Apple Music.
Okay.
I mean, it could just be to Friday, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I believe there was a Saturday sequel.
a flop.
But I mean, Friday itself is undefeated.
What
I
about
love
Sunday?
that song. Well, maybe
She should
that's
really
for the
do one
30s.
for every day of the week, honestly.
Skylar has every day of the week socks. Why not? You know?
Oh,
Like
nice.
Monday's
Okay.
more of an emo song.
Yeah, Sunday's the day of rest song. She just lays down.
Yeah, Monday's a tough one.
Monday's the pits.
I'm in. The problem is that there's the original version which has the rap from the guy, and I think the Spotify version doesn't have the rap. If I
Wasn't he
remember that
like
correctly.
problematic?
I believe you. I don't.
I think I remember something about like yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Don't quote me on that.
okay.
I'm
Well,
clearly
that's-
not an expert on
No,
this.
I'm not
matter.
endorsing him. But it did make the song better. You know,
She's
that's-
touring. She'll be in Philadelphia
Really?
tomorrow night
What? Get out of here.
Where?
Where?
at TLA.
Wow.
Is that available on Game Time?
How much are tickets? Show outing.
$52.
Wow. Good for her.
I mean, should we do a live pod?
Yeah. Do you think she closes every concert with it? It's got to be, or does she open with it? Like, what does she do there?
Good question.
We can probably look
Or
up
maybe
her
it's the
playlist.
encore.
Yeah. Get people to stay.
Ooh, I'm very interested.
See if I can look up her set list.
Yeah.
The show is sold out. It's with
Is
Blue,
it-
with Blue Hawaii. She seems like she's doing great.
Yeah,
her.
she's playing Lollapalooza this year.
Blue Hawaii, the ball carrier. Interesting. All right. Great start to the show. Rebecca Black. Absolutely. Okay. We have a few little minor bits of Eagles news we want to talk about at the top, and then we want to get into, it's a bit of a doldrum part of the offseason. We've got the owners' meetings early next week. Zach and I will be in attendance down in Palm Beach on Monday and Tuesday.
Bo, I have some upsetting news for you. Sorry to interrupt.
She doesn't play it.
She doesn't play it.
Or
At
she doesn't-
least in
she
her
doesn't
Manche-
advertise. That she's
Yeah,
gonna
her
play it.
Manchester, England show on the 21st, she did not play it.
It would.
It's
I mean, maybe
Friday.
it's the encore.
Yeah.
No.
No, they usually list encores on here.
Oh,
I have a friend that went and saw Toto once,
And they didn't play
they
Africa?
didn't play Africa.
and they said it was like a good, but they closed with Africa.
Okay.
But people in the stands just kept going, "Play Africa!" the entire concert, and they said it was so annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe Rebecca doesn't do that because people are just like, "Play
Then
Friday."
you start off with it.
Yeah,
Get it out of the way.
Get
But then maybe
people
people
hyped.
leave.
I'm now
Yeah.
picturing Jamie just screaming, "Play Friday!" at a Rebecca Black show.
All right. Sorry, back on track.
All right. Anyway, back on track. We got a few bits of Eagles news to talk about at the top, but then we want to do a little Brandon Graham inspired longevity draft. You know, who of the current Philadelphia athletes, we're not including prospects, no Andrew Painter. You got to be on an active roster or injured. Who's going to be in Philadelphia the longest as an active athlete? We'll do a little 6-round wraparound snake draft, which we're looking forward to. But a couple of things to talk about first. Not super exciting, but the Eagles officially, finally announced their coaching staff today, guys. I'm curious, like, does any of this move the needle for you? Most of these things have been reported already. Obviously, you knew about Kevin Patullo as the offensive coordinator. Did you even remember that Parks Frazier was the passing game coordinator now?
I did, because I think I did a show with you one day where we discussed him possibly being like a lower level OC candidate.
Yeah.
That was the only reason why, though.
Is that exciting for you, Rich?
Well, the thing that stuck out to me about Park Frazier,
He was an indie guy, right?
Was his Wikipedia page. And,
Oh, that's right. You were all over this at the time. Yes.
Yeah, that his house was damaged by 77 rounds in shooting in 2019. No residents were home, no injuries reported, and the targeting of Frazier's house was later ruled a mistake. That's right below his Carolina Panthers stint as quality control coach, you know, as one does. The two things that stood out.
Did they ever explain who the target was?
I'm sure they did, but it's not on the Wikipedia page.
My college house, when I left it the year after, it got shot up in a drive-by in D.C. A friend of mine actually took a bullet in the stomach. He's all right. He's local.
Jeez.
But yeah, I have a house shooting story.
Okay. Well, he's local, so now Zach's interested.
Wrongly targeted.
Okay. You know what? This does come full circle because Parks Frazier was, of course, famous for being the offensive coordinator for Jeff.
I don't know.
Saturday.
Oh, that's right. That's why we talked about that. He was the interim OC, what, for 4 games or something?
Something like that, yes. So, yeah, you got Parks Frazier, a little bit incestuous with the continuing to borrow guys from the Colts coaching tree, but okay, that's fine.
So the thing that stood out to me, most of the new hires and promotions, they're all on the offensive side of the ball. So
yes,
there's 2 elements to that. Number one, I think it's very impressive and fortunate for the Eagles that they did not have a lot of brain drain on the defensive side of the ball. I think Christian Parker being the big one. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we always talk about how it is difficult to sustain an elite defense year over year. Okay, this will help at least, right? They have everybody who is coaching them at least, you know, who will be able to, you know, hopefully bring along these new pieces and these young guys. And the other thing is that, man, Jalen Hurts just gets like new coaches every year.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Poor guy. Scott Loeffler, of course, as we've talked about, was formerly the Bowling Green head coach. He is the new quarterbacks coach. Greg Austin, who was here early in Chip Kelly's tenure.
People
and has bounced around.
Big on the Bowling Green. What was his name? Jeff Loeffler?
Scott Loeffler.
Scott Loeffler. Well, Samsonite wasn't even close. People seem big on.
I mean, they were both names. You know, they were close enough. It's not like you said, you know, door jump. I don't know.
Some of the like real inside football people I follow on the Twitter, really like him. They you know, that Honest NFL account. Yeah, his passing schemes were like highly touted.
Interesting.
I watched the Bowling Green Penn State game this year. And Bowling Green like did pretty well offensively in the first half versus them. So I know
Harold Fannin Jr.
Yeah, who's an Eagles target, hopefully. But he gets highly respected by football people on Twitter for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, he knows Tom Brady is basically. They're hoping that Jalen Hurts is going to be very interested in that. Greg Austin, we talked about, he's the assistant offensive line coach, replacing TJ Paginetti, and then Montgomery Van Gorder, offensive quality control.
What a name.
Cole Peterson, assistant to the head coach. And
Montgomery Van Gorder?
Added to the defensive staff after being a quality control guy. Montgomery Van Gorder. Yeah.
That is a name.
Yeah, the 7th president of the United States.
All I can think about is goiters now. Sorry.
Another Bulldog. Another Georgia Bulldog.
Pipeline stays active.
So you guys obviously fired up about this coaching staff. I think you're right, though, Rich. The big takeaway is, as you go through this, nobody on defense, the entire defensive staff remains the same. And as they have a lot of turnover on that side of the ball, hopefully this guards against that.
Yeah. I thought Christian Parker was going to be a defensive coordinator.
It's just timing, I think. Like I
he's got another year.
I would put 80 turkeys on Christian Parker being a defensive coordinator somewhere else next year.
Yeah, I think so.
And the nice part is that, Uncle Vic and his zins and his wine, he's not going anywhere. I feel like we have a lifer in him until he retires.
I think that's right. I think he's said that, and I don't think the Eagles are interested.
So that's nice. I know Jalen Hurts has to deal with the turmoil every year, but defensively, with the average age going into our longevity draft, I mean, this defense is so young. It's nice to look ahead and just go, all right, well, Uncle Vic's here for, let's say it's 4 or 5 more years.
All right, interesting Peckness migrate in the chat going on here. Peckness migrate, Dumb and Dumber, Something About Mary, and Kingpin.
Ooh, I am,
I'm going to migrate Kingpin. Those 3.
Oh, I was thinking about marrying Kingpin. I think I'm migrating Something About Mary.
So I actually agree with you. For me, I'm definitely nesting Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Probably on the list
could nest
of,
Kingpin, though.
If I was to go 10, like between 5 and 10, like the movies I have seen the most in my life, Dumb and Dumber certainly on there. So I would migrate I would nest Dumb and Dumber. And then I feel like if I'm pecking, I'm only going to get to watch it one more time the rest of my life. I have seen Something About Mary more than Kingpin, and so I think I would more enjoy a pecking of Kingpin because I like one time through for There's Something About Mary for me right now is not going to do much because I know all the beats. It's good. It's probably a better movie, but for me, just to see it one more time, I haven't seen Kingpin in a while.
Can't even get your heart rate up in a peck.
You sold me. All right. I'll say the same.
Just for me. I mean,
I'm migrating Something About Mary. I'm nesting Dumb and Dumber, and I'm pecking Kingpin.
Okay.
Kingpin to me is, the Farley brothers are just like.
How would you do Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and for Julia, the wedding singer?
Ooh. I think nesting Billy Madison.
I think I'm nesting Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I was torn between those 2. I'm pecking Happy, migrating Wedding Singer. And Wedding Singer is underrated.
Yeah, Wedding Singer. I mean, Julia's. Is it still your favorite movie, Julia? Oh, okay.
Okay. Pretty similar years there.
Yeah. Billy Madison just is the first movie I remember just killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Happy I love, but Billy, I don't know. I still just think about some of the lines and laugh.
It's great.
Have you seen
American cinema?
Have you seen the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2?
I did. I mean, I'm in. I don't think it's going to be great by any means, but
no, the company that's making it does not make very good movies typically.
Is it Happy Madison?
No, Netflix. That's what I mean. Oh yeah, no, I know. I know. Yes. Adam Sandler is the one who's involved with
the fact that the PGA guys are involved is kind of cool. It looked okay. Yeah. It looks okay.
I'll enjoy being in the world, I guess. I'm sure it's not going to be a good movie, but I'm not unhappy to revisit it. Okay, the other piece of news here to talk about, a report from Diana Rossini, friend of the show, that perhaps Mark Murphy's dying crusade to get rid of the tush push is gaining a little bit of momentum. Now, just to remind you, they're going to need 24 votes. So 24 out of 31 teams, essentially. Obviously, the Eagles are not going to vote for this, to vote for it. I still remain skeptical, especially because the language of the rule is so murky. I think it's possible they could try to get rid of pushing the ball carrier, which is a different conversation, and I think one that I would be open to. But what do you make of the idea, Rich, that there really might be some momentum behind banning the tush push?
I mean, some momentum, right? They started with 1 or 2 teams that were in favor of it. I don't know, just from judging the public comments that coaches and GMs have made, I find it hard to believe that 24 of 32 are actually going to vote for this thing, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these people are all cowards. I'm curious, what Mark Murphy is doing behind the scenes to try and drum up some interest in this.
I almost feel now that they have won the Super Bowl, Jamie, that it would almost be worth it just from a legacy standpoint for this team was so good that the league changed the rules.
It's like the Wilt, right? Yeah, the 3 seconds in the lane because of Wilt Chamberlain.
What a pathetic thing.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of cool when you look at it through that prism. I don't think it's going to get passed. You said they need 24.
Yeah,
that seems like a lot of people to admit cowardice. I think it's a bad look. I mean, everybody saw how Mark Murphy was treated, and Sean McDermott was treated for their comments. Like, I don't know. What do they call the guy in DC, the behind the scenes House of Cards, the whip, the whip? They call it the whip that tries to get everybody behind the scenes to vote for something.
That is what that's called.
The whip, yeah. I'm not. I hate you. Whatever.
It's a position in real life.
Yes, well. Yeah. I just it doesn't enter my daily thoughts very
Gotcha.
No. Come on. I
don't know if Mark Murphy's just behind the scenes trying to be the whip here and like wrangle up 23 other people, but you know, maybe
let's have an enterprising sicko Photoshop. Mark Murphy in some S&M gear. Let's really make something happen.
I feel like that'd be hard to get 23 other people, don't you?
I mean,
it would fit with how coaches always talk about like preaching toughness.
You got Mark Murphy as the gimp.
Pat Burrell's got a suit he can borrow.
I don't think that sentence has ever been uttered before.
Mark Murphy is like.
And introducing Mark Murphy
with a ball gag.
He's like this is what Bart Starr used to like. All right.
You want to see Lombardi's blocking slides?
Completely off the rails. It's a Friday. There's no football news going on.
If
Mark, you brought this upon yourself.
If Zach Berman's listening to this right now, what are your thoughts?
He wants to get involved in the conversation. He's Googling GIMP. All right, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors. And then on the other side, we're going to have a draft. A little bit of a look back at Brandon Graham's longevity. I got a couple. I got a quiz for you guys, so we will do that in a minute. First, we're going to talk about our friends at Bet Parks. You got the Excite Center at Parks Casino. No word yet on Rebecca Black, but very much many other acts to be excited about and check out at Parks Casino. Street Road exit off 95 and the PA Turnpike. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Pennsylvania's #1 casino is so close to anywhere in the Philadelphia area. The Excite Center is the state-of-the-art entertainment venue inside Parks Casino right in Bucks County in the Philly suburbs. Named one of the best places for concerts and comedy and a great place to see the country's best comedians and music headliners. Parks Casino, this is how you win. ParksCasino.com to buy tickets for all shows. You must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys, let's talk about the Game Time app where you can get tickets to Flyers and Sixers games right now. They're very cheap. Probably not as cheap as the Rebecca Black concert tomorrow night. But you can get tickets to those as well because Game Time also has concerts and shows. And Game Time, guys, they have a bunch of incredible features. Their Game Time picks and their curation makes it easier to save on more sports, concerts, comedy, and theater. They have all-in pricing, and toggling that feature shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. And you have seat views, too, so you can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. And it is the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks and download the Game Time app, create an account, and use PHLY for 20% or for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHLY for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time.
All right, before we get into the draft, I have a bit of a quiz for you guys. Okay, so I went back to 2010. We're talking 15 years ago. That's when Brandon Graham becomes an Eagle. He lasts 15 years, obviously. Of all the active Philadelphia athletes at that time, we know that that's the longest. There were 20 players, including Brandon Graham, across the 4 major sports who lasted 5 years, who lasted until 2014. I want to see how many of those 20 you guys can name.
Claude Giroux.
Claude Giroux would be number 2 on the list. Made it to 2022.
To 2000. Cole Hamels make it that long?
Cole Hamels would have been tied for 10th on this list. Made it to the middle of the 2015 season.
Jason Peters,
nicely done. Number 3 on the list after Brandon Graham and Claude Giroux made it to 2020.
Chase Utley?
Chase Utley makes the list. He's with Cole Hamels, traded in the middle of the 2015 season.
Yeah.
So tied for 10th.
Jimmy Rollins was the year before Utley, right?
That counts, though. 2014. So Rollins is at the back end of the list.
Okay, so Rollins.
Tied for 13th. There's 8 players tied for 13th. So made it to 2014.
I think we got to be looking for more Eagles-type players now.
Yeah. Man, chronologically, like
never so 2010. So this is before Kelce and Lane and Ertz and all those guys.
Phillies everyday players. Carlos Ruiz.
Carlos Ruiz made it to 2016. He's 7th on the list.
Ryan
Chemo Timonen?
Ooh.
Chemo Timonen made it to 2014. Tied for 13th. Nicely done.
Nice. Who's number 1?
No, you got number 1. Brandon Graham is number 1.
Okay. Chemo Timonen. That's a good one.
Oh, good one. And look in the chat.
Dorenbos.
John Dorenbos.
Yeah,
Dorenbos made it to 2016. That makes him tied for 5th.
Cousin Grace, I was thinking Couturier, but was he here in 2010?
No. He is the longest tenured after Brandon Graham.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was
not on the list.
right after Graham.
That's right.
Victorino, was he still here in 15? No,
I think he was on the
13.
2013 Red Sox.
Yeah, you might.
Victorino is not on the list.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Good thing we didn't count that as an official vote.
No, you didn't count that.
Trent Cole.
Ooh.
Trent Cole makes it just to that, barely makes it tied for 13th, 2014 on the list.
Who else?
There are 4 Eagles left.
Shady McCoy.
Yes, that same one made it to 2014. There are 3 Eagles left.
Zach Ertz.
Not on the team yet.
Not on the team.
Son of a.
So there are 3 Eagles left. There are 3 Phillies left.
Voracek.
2 Flyers. Nope.
No.
And 1 Sixer. One Sixer made it from 2010 to 2014.
Oh. What was McConnell?
No,
too early for that.
He was 2012, 2014.
Which is, I think, this is good preparation for the draft that we're going to have.
Is it Evan Turner or Thad Young?
It is Thad Young.
Thad Young. Look at Rich Hofmann. Ooh, Alex with a decent one there.
That's right.
Selleck is correct. Selleck is Brent Selleck, number 4 on the list, made it to the Super Bowl 2017.
Was Macklin and Deshaun? Did we say that?
I think Macklin.
Those guys are both gone.
Oh no,
Macklin left and came back in 2013.
Oh, okay.
All right, I will tell you. So 2014, the bottom of the list with Trent Cole. This offensive lineman joined him with the Colts when they both left.
Harriman.
Yes. This is the most embarrassing part of this list. Number 8 on the tenured athletes of Philadelphia is an Eagles wide receiver.
Jason Avant.
No. More embarrassing.
Jason Avant was Mr. Third Down. Oh, Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper.
Oh, no.
That's correct.
Oh, no.
3 Phillies lasted. One of them lasted until 2016. You guys probably should get that one.
Not
you just haven't said them yet.
Blanco.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the core. You just
did we said Ryan Howard?
You have not said Ryan
Howard.
Howard.
We didn't
Ryan
say
Howard.
That's right.
He's number 5 on that list. And then a player who was a prospect, young guy in 2010, lasted 5 more years. And then a pitcher who surprisingly
Don
made
Brown.
it for you. Don Brown,
Wow.
number 8 on the list.
He's
and
a
then,
really good guy.
He has a hitting clinic and he's starting now.
In Montgomery
And apparently he's got rave reviews as a hitting coach.
Seems like a great guy.
Yeah, good for him.
one pitcher makes it to 2014.
Not
Hector Neris.
Perennial number 5.
Kyle Kendrick.
Nicely done. And then 2 Flyers. 1,
Steve Mason.
I think you could get. 1, I've never heard of. That's more. that's a me problem. On TV.
Wayne Simmons.
Patrick Sharp.
Nope.
No, he was gone by then.
On TV. Scotty Hartnell.
Scotty Hartnell. Nicely done. And then the guy who was 10th on this list, Braden Coburn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Doesn't
said
do anything.
Yeah. Very, very uneventful.
So there you go.
That was,
but I think
that was
good.
torturous.
That's good context for we're going to do this. We're going to try to project who's going to be here. And there are 8 guys who made it more than 5 years from 2010.
That's kind of crazy.
Across those different sports.
It just goes to show, like, even thinking back 15 years ago is
it's
tough.
hard.
There's been a lot of guys since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't even get Ryan Howard.
Fran's been doing so many guys since then.
Yeah, that's right. All right. I'm going to let you guys, why don't you rock, paper, scissors, shoot to go who goes first? Or I guess what pick you
round
want.
of one? Or
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. We're grown-ups here. Oh, both throw paper. Jamie's scissors beats paper. Both throw rock. Oh, it's even. Oh, paper. Oh, both rock. Oh, Rich with the comeback. Rock beats scissors. Rich, you get to decide what pick you want.
We didn't really have to talk about our pacing there. We did a good
very
job.
nicely done.
Yeah.
I will go first.
You're going to go first. Jamie, do you want to go second or do you want to go third?
I love a snake.
You like a snake. All right.
Yeah.
I like second. That means I get a little time to think.
Yeah.
All right. I'm curious who you're going to go number one here. And the rules here, just who's going to last the longest.
Who's going to last the longest from today? So you don't get any time accrued already. You don't.
Yeah, no time accrued already. Exactly. From today on. And you got to be, Andrew Painter doesn't count. No prospects.
Got to be on the big league roster right now.
Or injured.
Very curious where you're going here, number one overall.
I think this was the easiest one because I think literally after the first pick, we can argue about a million different things and we can argue about every tier until we're done this at the end of the show. To me, the first one was kind of easy. Sean Couturier is the longest tenured athlete right now. In that sport, you can lock up a guy for a long time. There's no going to Miami or LA like in basketball. You can play for a long time. Matvei Michkov is 20 years old.
Yeah.
He has demonstrated that he is already good. He wants to be here. And I think he'll be here well into his 30s. So
it's a good pick.
I would have gone number one too. I think that's the right pick. That's fun.
What is he, 21?
He's 20.
20. Jeez.
Seems like he's good. Seems like they're building everything around him.
The whole idea is to build the thing around him, right?
To keep him, yeah.
Okay, I think that's
good pick. Good pick.
After this, I was very confused.
I thought you might have gone somewhere else, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a good reminder of the makeup of the Phillies roster.
Yeah,
how old it is in general.
So old.
Because you would think that this is a place where you can have some longevity. But is Bryson Stott, who's the youngest regular, is he going to be here 6 years? I don't know. Maybe not. And then you talk about, I have more Eagles on my big board here than I do any other team in Philadelphia. I think I am going to go. I'm going to go Jalen Carter.
Yeah, I had him too. Yeah.
He's my number 2 pick. He's 23 years old.
I had 24 written down.
I think I guess he'll be 24. Or no, you know what? He was 23 during the season. He might already be 24. Anyway,
it matters.
A guy worth building.
Oh, April 4th. Coming up.
Oh, that's coming up.
Yeah.
May the April 4th be with you. I just think
it's a good pick.
Jalen Hurts might be the one who lasts the longest, but I think the Eagles are going to be incentivized to pay Jalen Carter early, lock him up early. It's a position that does age pretty well, and so he's going to be good for a decade, barring injury. So I'm gonna go Jalen Carter.
The reason I had him second, I just added how many years till Fletch retired. And I was like, that's the way it'll go. He'll be a core piece.
What was Fletch, 35?
No, he was 33, 34.
33, okay.
Somewhere in there. So I added 10 years, and I think he is the safest bet to last that long. There could be some guys who go longer, but Jalen Carter has the talent to be one of these longtime Eagles. Obviously, you don't know how his personality will translate over 10 years, but also he's a 23-year-old kid. I'm sure you could have said the same thing about Lane Johnson.
I guess our question
Jason
here,
Kelsey, and
I guess we should think about this. Are we scoring this by who correctly identifies the one guy who lasts the longest, or are we trying to do cumulative?
I think we add up the years.
We think we add up the years.
In 12 years,
I
we'll
think that's
circle
good.
back on this.
Because then maybe you don't. Because otherwise, you just chase the ceiling as opposed to making sure you get a couple guys are going to be here 5
You need
years.
4 foundational pieces here.
Yeah. Okay.
This is where the snake gets tricky.
You have to weigh the risk reward on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a long wait to come back here for the snake, so I got to nail these two. If you had to guess, Bo, where would I be going next? You think I'm going, my boy?
Yeah. I mean, it's you. So yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you go 2 people in the same position group.
You might be exactly right there. I'm just trying to work this out in my head. I am
hit that like button, baby.
Yeah, let's get a little like here. Yeah, I'm gonna do it because I think they're both gonna be here for minimum 7 years. I think they could both push a decade. I think they're that good. They're that young. Because he's younger, with the 3rd pick, I'm gonna go Cooper DeJean.
Okay.
With the 4th pick, I'm gonna go Quinyon because he's a year older.
It's good that you got Quinyon.
A 22 and 23-year-old.
He's actually you might not know this. He's actually a year older than Keely Ringo.
Ding!
Despite Keely Ringo having been on the team a year before him. I think
streak continues.
I think
Frank kept it alive yesterday.
I think I didn't get it on Wednesday's show, unfortunately. I think unfortunately that I know he got it yesterday.
Did you see his face in the Discord? Somebody took a screenshot of when he nailed it, and he has this smirk where he's like so happy and proud of himself.
I appreciated that, and it was a bad job by me on the show on Wednesday with Dan and Kelsey that I did not find a way to fit it in. So now we're back up to 2.
So the two youths are off the board.
I think that Cooper DeJean will last longer than Quinyon Mitchell because
safety.
It's a style of play, transition.
Because I think there's an easier landing spot for him at a position where on the outside, if you lose your legs, you're not as valuable. I think there's a possibility where 5 years, 8 years. I mean, it's football. It could be
it could be
gone
in
2 years.
Yeah.
But eventually, there's an easy landing spot for Cooper DeJean at safety if need be.
I had both of them in my first year. I was a little worried, about the longevity of the cornerback position.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with how good they are.
I mean,
they're clearly going to be second contract guys.
Darius Slays of the world are rare. Yeah. You don't make it to age 34 at that position.
But
easily.
I like how you put it. Like you could be 4 years shorter than Darius Slay and still play another 7 years here.
Yeah.
So
I feel confident. I got 2 of my boys. I'm pumped.
This is tough. There are some football guys here where there may be some injury question marks with them that you have to bake in.
I got football, basketball, and baseball guys that are worth considering here.
I think. I mean, you got to do the Sixers ever just fully blow it up?
That's a good question, Bo.
I think I'm going to go Maxey.
He's 24, which
24 years old.
I forgot. I had to remind myself during this process.
I think he's the kind of player who can,
I will send this to Julia so we can share it with Khalif.
Khalif, you have got Jamie. He's very excited about it. Nicely done. That's actually a pretty good Photoshop too.
Julia, it's coming your way.
I'm gonna go Maxey. I think it's possible that 2 years down the road they totally blow the thing up and get a nice package for him. But I think I'm going Maxey.
24 years old, signed long term. Certainly the type of guy that you would want to build around.
Yeah,
like great culture setter and all that stuff. There are 2 things, and I had him in this tier too, but there are 2 things that would worry me a little.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, what Bo just said. Like, what if they just have to blow this whole thing up? And they did it with Drew Holiday, right?
Yeah,
it's just like,
sure.
You're a good player, but we're not ready to actually compete with you. We need to trade you for assets. The other one is there's a guy a little bit later who played probably like 20 games this year.
I know.
I thought about him too. Who was also kind of the same position as Tyrese Maxey. Yeah. And who knows? He might be better than Tyrese Maxey. But anyway, I think that's a good pick, Bo. I think I would have taken him next. All right. I got 2 now, huh?
You got 2.
Snake. I love the snake.
We'll go the first. This is going to be a 6-round draft, so we'll do the first 3 rounds. We'll take a break and then close with the last 3 rounds.
So there are 2 Eagles I'm considering here, and I'm going to go with I'm going to go maybe a little bit safer. You guys might not agree with this. I am going to take Cam Jurgens next.
Ooh, he was high on my list, but what Bo said about the injuries in football, that concerns me.
Obviously, he was banged up at the end of the year. But I don't know. I just think he is.
It could be a great pick.
He has demonstrated that he is good. He's also, I think there's another offensive lineman that you could consider as well. Who was banged up as well. But I don't know. I think he could give me like 6 or 7 years. He doesn't have to make it. Doesn't have to make it the full Kelsey. Clearly, like we saw this year, he's much better at center than he is at guard. They're gonna lock him up this year, right, Bo?
The fact that he came back in with the back injury. Maybe it's just something that he has to deal with throughout his career, and it's not like debilitating.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good pick.
I think it's a good pick. I think it probably would not have been my next Eagle.
Okay.
But I could see the case for it.
Yeah. I'm not going to take the... Yeah, I might have screwed up, but I already took Juergens. Okay, next one. This guy's actually pretty old, but I'm going to take him. Bryce Harper. So he is.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's priced in.
It's more about the contract.
7 years remaining guaranteed.
7 years
plus
left.
An extension is wanted.
He might add a couple more. He's already complained about that with Scott Boras, right?
I think it's a good pick.
Where are my extra years? He is the face of the Phillies. He is a guy who clearly has like recruited a bunch of these other free agent signings. I think he will retire as a Philly. My one big worry with him, though, and this is the obvious one, is how will he age? Because very violent swinger.
DH.
That home run.
The violent swing.
Well, yeah, he could play first base for a long time, too. He seems like he's pretty good at that. But those violent swings, even that home run yesterday, Jamie, like when he swings and misses, you're just like, ow.
Come in here for a sec.
Yeah.
Give us a quick scouting report. We're doing a draft. After Michkov, which Flyer is going to be here the longest? We got Bill Matz coming in.
Jet?
Yeah, probably Jet.
But Jet doesn't count. He's not on the team right now.
He's not on the team yet.
Drysdale, I think they like a lot. He's going to hang around.
Is he on the team right now?
He is.
Okay. He's not even on my board.
Yeah, I had him written down.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
What about Tippett? No.
Tyson Forster?
Tyson's good.
Okay.
Good.
What about Bobby Brink or Owen Tippett? Oh, I said Tippett. But what about Bobby Brink?
There's so many wingers. Like, someone's going to get traded eventually.
Who's like the third or fourth line guy who's here for a long time now?
Third or fourth line. That could be Tyson Forster.
Tyson Forster? All right.
Okay. All right. This is good. We needed this.
Yeah, we did. Thanks for the crash
Thank you,
course.
Because I'm up and I might need to take a flyer. Thank you, Bill. Flyer show is at what time today? 4 o'clock. Check out.
They just fired
Bill
their coach.
And Charlie.
Bill and Charlie are going to talk about it.
Yeah, Torts is not going to be on this list.
What's the deal? Him and Cam York fought or something?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't he just fight with everybody though?
But it sounded like it might have gotten like that was the deciding factor.
It was funny. I read Charlie's article though, and he basically was like, yeah, like they're actually like a pretty well coached team. Like if you look at how bad their goalies are and how bad their kind of top end talent has been.
Do you think the comments were heard and York approached him like, yo?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
let's throw down.
Cam York really did not seem to like him.
That's awesome. I love that stuff.
Good for him. They might have just gotten sick of him. They might have just been like, we just can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, just all the back and forth with Michkov.
Like,
stop.
Stop it. Let the kid play.
Can you just play the kid for 20 minutes a night?
I'm going to take an older player as well.
Don't take my guy, Bo.
I'm taking Jordan Mailata.
Oh, okay.
27 years old. You talk about like the guy who has inherited some of the leadership in the room. It's a position the Eagles value. I don't think they need to replace him anytime soon. I could see, 6-7 years to come still with Jordan Mailata in Philadelphia. So I'm taking Jordan Mailata.
I like that one.
All right, that wasn't who I had.
I think that's a pretty safe pick. He will be here.
Yeah, that's a steady. That's a steady. I think I'm guaranteed like 4 years for sure. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of
he
downside.
could make it to age like 36.
Yes,
I think that's in between 4 and like 7 or 8.
You could be looking at a decade.
I think if we were only trying to guess to get lottery tickets for who's going to win this game, I wouldn't take Mailata. But if we're playing the cumulative game, then I'm going to take him.
I think much like the NFL draft, this is going to be one in the later rounds.
I think that's probably right. Yes. All right, you got one more pick before break. That way you can think about your snake. Yeah.
Close it and then reopen it. All right, fantastic. I don't want to get too cheeky here. I'm going to go, he's 24 years old. I think he had his breakout season. I think he is going to be one of the foundational pieces of the defensive line. I'm going to go Nolan Smith here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a reasonable pick.
I think it's reasonable. And
you're all Eagles so far.
They have a lot of youth on defense that I'm in love with.
You have upside there for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he was tremendous. My one worry with him,
he plays too crazy that he could get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, some of those hits were tremendous, but you're also like, what is that going to feel like?
The way that he's built does not square long term with the way that he plays.
Sure.
In terms of just inviting violence with that body. But maybe that's like a sign of a guy who's so many screws loose that he is going to just keep playing forever.
That's my thinking. He's so bleeping nuts that he's going to play through everything.
Yeah.
And he's also 24.
And he'll probably, your brain doesn't fully mature till 25. So there is a possibility he doesn't, like your frontal lobe isn't finished until he's 25. So maybe he does mature and play differently at age 27, 28. So Nolan, do it for me.
Frontal lobe conversation.
Yeah.
PHLY.
We're all over the place today.
All right, quick break to hear from our sponsors, and then the last 3 rounds of this exciting draft on the other side as Lobe Talk continues. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide, and they live stream over 780,000 events each year with early payout offers across the NBA and NHL. Bet365 pioneered live in-game betting, and today they offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports. You guys got a favorite bet for the Sweet 16 games tonight?
So I gave my picks earlier for Bet365. I made 3 picks, a little 3-0 heater last night.
Bang, bang.
I went Kentucky, Auburn, and Houston tonight.
Okay.
All to cover.
All right, I like that. Anything you like, Rich?
No, Jamie just convinced me. Kentucky, Auburn, and Houston. Yeah.
I think Auburn.
I'm going Michigan State over Auburn. That's my only.
I know.
I could be wrong.
Death taxes and Izzo. It's I just think Auburn could wipe the floor with them.
Sure, certainly possible. I was actually not impressed with Michigan State in that second game, but I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, well, good news is you can have your own opinion and make it happen on Bet365, where it's never ordinary. And you can open up an account right now with a nice little incentive to do so. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5 win or lose. Sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player prompts, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, do you want to start managing your finances the way you want and build your life the way you actually want to? Well, Monarch Money makes managing your money simple, even for busy lives. I am financially just all over the place. And with Monarch Money, you can get everything under one roof. Your accounts, your credit cards, your investments, all in one place, so you'll know where your money stands without the hassle. And here's one of my favorite features of Monarch Money. You can track your spending, because personally, I have 2 little girls who know how to work the Apple TV remote now. And I just found $29 a month in Amazon Kids purchases, some kids channel purchases, all these things I didn't know about. And Monarch Money helped me find that. $29 a month. That's a lot of money over the course of the year. Monarch Money will keep an eye on your money so you can keep everything in order. And what matters most, making your biggest life goals a reality. Monarch Money is the finance tool people actually love. It was referred to me by friends before they started advertising with us here at PHLY. So the word of mouth is good on it. People love it. It was named Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. The top recommended personal finance app by users and experts with over 30,000 5-star reviews. Financial stress, it leads to a lot of personal relationship issues and problems. Let Monarch Money take the stress out of your life and make money conversations easier. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHLY.
All right, Jamie, you have so far 3 players on the Eagles defense. Who's coming up next for you? First pick of the 4th round.
Now, I'm going to gamble a little here.
Okay.
Because I don't know if he can make it a decade. It's a volatile league. Trades happen all the time. Players demand out. But he's 21 years old. And he showed you a pretty spectacular 2.5 months of play before getting injured.
That's a good pick, I think.
I'm going to take Mr. TikTok, Mr. Jared McCain.
That's the boomer bust pick.
That's one, yeah. I mean,
it is a boomer bust. Yeah, he could be here a long time. He could be gone in 2.5 years when his rookie contract's up.
Maybe even less, honestly.
Maybe even less. The NBA
is part of a
wild.
package for something else, yeah.
Tyrese Maxey, much safer Sixer to pick.
Maybe.
He looked like Steph Curry.
He did
a couple of those games.
He did. I was blown away by what I was seeing.
Wild, but
he
also didn't look like Steph Curry in a bunch of those games.
But he's 21, so if he does live up to some sort of build around hype, he could be here for a decade easy.
You could get 14 years out of him.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going with my second pick in the snake there.
All right.
Upside. I like it.
Pick. I feel like I have to do the responsible thing now.
Yep.
There are some higher upside ones here, I think, but I think I got to play the middle. Jalen Hurts. I think if the Eagles had not won the Super Bowl this year,
he's very handsome.
I would have been of the thought that it was possible that a divorce was coming within like 2 years potentially. But now that he has that cachet, I don't expect that. I think he's going to be here for quite a while. So give me Jalen Hurts, the Super Bowl winning quarterback.
I think that's completely safe.
Yeah.
It's just the Eagles' past history with quarterbacks that worry you.
Of course.
Carson Wentz would have been, top 3 if we were doing this back in 2018.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who do you think lasts longer, Jalen Hurts or Howie Roseman?
Howie.
Okay.
I think he's here for life, as long as he wants to be.
Right.
So.
Okay. It's very funny to just continue looking at your computer and seeing that you have Mark Murphy as the GIMP over there. Very funny.
Julia does have it. We didn't want to derail you in the game, but
I mean,
now that you
flash that bad boy out. There he is. Talk about a thumbnail.
Should we change the thumbnail after the show?
Oh, no, he's not an Eagle. Got me wearing an Eagles jersey.
Shout out Khalif.
I got Bart's. It was good enough for Bart's star. You freak.
Vince Lombardi is all over his curve.
All right, Rich.
Let's
see if I can power sleep over here. Yeah, listen, I'm going to the owners' meetings next week. Maybe we can get a couple of those printed out in color, and I'll just sort of leave them around the breakers and see, what comes of it. Good Photoshop.
Big fullback cardigan.
All right, Rich. You have so far Michkov, Juergens, and Harper. You've done a nice job,
mixing it up,
spreading your teams around.
Shane with the comment: Keely Ringo is 27 years younger than Howie Roseman.
So for my next pick, I'm staring at another long contract Philly, even though I don't feel great about him being here.
I considered taking him last round.
I'm actually going to go higher upside with the Phillies. Christopher Sanchez. So,
interesting.
So he signed a ridiculously.
It's the best deal in Major League Baseball,
and I think it takes him for another 5 years here. Like they bought out the last couple of years of his arbitration years, and he's going to be here.
He's like free.
I mean, you saw him in spring training. You pay
hitting
closer
98,
attention.
99.
Yeah,
with that changeup, ridiculous.
Like he clearly knows how to pitch, and this is going to be a very expensive team for a long time. So it's like you might as well keep the contributor around that's like not making that much money.
Absolutely.
All things being considered. So that would be my next pick.
Okay, good pick.
I like it.
You took McCain. There's a couple flyers I think I could take here. One Sixer I would think about because that's another boomer bust guy.
Yeah, I know you're thinking.
Nah, I'm going to go with 2 Phillies. I'm going to be boring. Trey Turner.
Yeah.
He's got 9 years left on his contract.
I know, it's ridiculous.
And he will have to get moved to the outfield at some point because he's kind of a butcher at shortstop. But that's all right. That's what Aiden Miller's for, right?
Yep.
And 9 years left on his contract. Have no idea how he ages. I have no idea how he's going to play this year.
Yeah.
9 years. It's crazy.
9 years left, though. I feel like, I'll at least get half of those.
Yeah, you should. You should have some built-in.
You're guaranteed like at least 6.
For sure.
It doesn't feel good because it's not exciting, but he's going to be here for a while.
People go a little too hard on their hate for Trey Turner. Like there was 2 months of last baseball season where he was MVP level player.
Well, that's the same thing.
He's peaks and valleys
as both years. Like he's
like there's a lot of good ball in there. Still.
He's like a replacement level player for half the year, but then the other half he's the MVP.
Yeah, it's wild.
All right, I'm gonna go. Stick with what you know. That's sort of how I feel on this pick. You think about Philadelphia. You think about the kind of people who last long here. Who's got the grit, who's got the staying power, the sexiness to stay. when I think of that, I think of Tyson Forster because this is a guy who I know a lot about, and having grinded the tape on everything that he brings to the table on the ice, off the ice, as a teammate, as a player, at the position that he plays, which we all know what it is. I'm going Tyson Forster, who's 23 years old.
Super responsible.
Yeah. Mature for his age, really mucks and grinds. He's got good lettuce, I think.
Yeah.
Good locker room guy.
Yeah.
And the things, I mean, what he can do with the puck. I mean,
his skating. Have you seen him go backwards? It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, the way he gets back. The
his poke checks.
The vision.
His forechecks.
I mean, to me, this is a guy who says Philadelphia all day long.
I'm shocked he lasted this long.
Yeah.
It's good value. You can't deny value there.
There you go.
And that has been Tyson Forster talking for the day.
All right, Jamie, you got 5 and 6.
Oh, man. I think he's going to be cheap. Oh, God, I keep going back to the Eagles. Well, but I'm going to do it. Jalen Hunt.
Good pick. I was hoping to get him on the next one.
He's 24 years old. He showed me more in a project year than I kind of hoped for or dreamed of. So I think he's going to continue to get better. I think he's a guy they'll lock up early, well before kind of market
position
value.
they care about.
Yeah,
exactly. They're not,
Yeah, give me Jalen Hunt there.
I think it's a good pick.
Now this next one.
I mean, like for sure, you've got 3 more years.
Yeah,
like that is built in. He's going to finish his rookie contract here, no doubt about it. And yeah, I think he is the kind of player who they would want to extend.
What are your expectations for Jalen Hunt this year?
This is one where like it's tough because improvement is not just a straight line, right? But you think about, man, as better as he got as the season went on, and as good as he was in the Super Bowl, like there's got to be another level for him, right?
Yeah,
he could be a 10-sack guy. I don't think that's crazy in year 2, but that's not a realistic expectation for a third-round pick.
What was his percentage
season.
of snaps in the Super Bowl? Was it like 35% or something?
It was higher than normal because of the
garbage time
and because of the Nolan Smith injury.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know exactly how.
Okay.
I don't remember off the top of my head how high it was. I think it was probably about 40%.
Okay.
But he looks great.
Yeah.
Was stunned at how good he
and
looked.
you would imagine that a new guy to the position, is gonna gain some like pass rush chops, and he's not gonna be just a sort of a guy who's overpowering guys. Yeah, I think there's a chance that you could convince him he has a higher upside than Nolan Smith.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy, but it's also unreasonable to think that, a 3rd-round pick in year 2 is going to be the best defensive end on the team.
I like the personality too.
Yeah,
I'm sticking around for a while.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh man, I'm torn here. I have a baseball and a football guy I'm deciding between. Old Bobby Brink and Jet. They're crossing my mind, but
You can't do Jet.
nah.
Jet's not on the team right now.
Oh no, is he one of the taxi squad guys? Did he get a cup of coffee up
He's
here?
just in like the AHL or something.
Oh, okay. I thought he had a
we all know that.
Yeah, of course. They're the famed AHL program.
Famed AHL program.
See,
Julia, what do you think of Bobby Brink? Yeah, we're big Bobby Brink fans on this show.
Bobby Brink. Now the football guy move is like am I trying to be the smartest man in the room? Am I overthinking this type of one? The Phillies player I feel a little better about. But this is a show we won't know the results of for like a decade.
That's a good point.
So I'm going to gamble. I'm going to go Moro Ojimo.
Really?
23 years old.
Wow, you have 5 guys on the Eagles defense. That is fascinating.
Jamie thinks the Eagles defense is locked up for the next decade here.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's so young. When I was walking around the Super Bowl field with Vinny, we met a coach, tall guy. What's his name? I'm forgetting. D-line.
Jeremiah Washburn?
Yes,
or
Washburn.
the defensive tackles coach?
Washburn.
Okay.
And he raved about him. And maybe that's in the back of my mind, but he talked about him like this kid is on the brink of something big. He's so young. They're going to lock him up. I think the position is there for the taking now. I think you can get 7, 8, maybe even 9 years if all goes well for him. There is the gamble that he flops, but I'm going to take that risk here.
Okay. I like that.
Last pick, Bo.
This is one where a year ago I would have flip-flopped. A year ago, I thought that it was between the two of them, DeVonta Smith was going to be here longer than A.J. Brown. But
what are we working with there? DeVonta's 26.
DeVonta's 26. AJ's 27.
27.
Well, I think will be 28 next season. But AJ has sort of become a bigger part of that locker room. I mean, they took DeVonta's captainship away, which is kind of mean.
That is kind of mean.
I think AJ Brown, now he has dealt with injuries before, but I think he will age better. Yeah. How does he compare to a Bobby Brink? To a Cam York? Impossible to say.
You cannot replace a Bobby Brink.
The world may never know.
Like, is Johan Rojas going to be here forever as just a defensive centerpiece?
He was born in 2001, Johan Rojas.
I hope not.
I think I'm going to go AJ Brown.
Wow.
It might be 5 more years, but to fill out my roster, I'm taking AJ. I think he's going to be here for a while.
Okay, so the other Eagle, I'm not going to pick him last, but the other Eagle that I was thinking about, who I thought might have gotten picked by somebody else, kind of makes my Cam Jurgens pick seem a little bit of a reach. Landon Dickerson,
26 years old, very still young,
but has been hurt a lot.
Yeah,
but is awesome.
But he's awesome.
Locked up for a long time,
and he clearly can play through pain.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
how long do you think AJ Brown's going to be here? I mean,
5 more years.
5 more years. Yeah. Do you ever worry about just?
I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. Probably 3 more years.
I feel
probably
like
a bad pick.
I feel like we can't have something that good for that long.
Yeah.
At the wide receiver position, if you're talking D line, O line, sure, but AJ, I feel like, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the wrong pick. I probably should have just taken
2035
Travis Konechny or something like that.
But look, this is the Eagle show, so you might as well pick
I
AJ
have 5
Brown.
Eagles and 6 picks. It's ridiculous.
So who are you making your last pick?
Travis Konechny.
Oh, you are making
Konechny.
TK.
I just learned that he has a 7-8 year deal.
Oh.
Yeah. Can't trade that. Come on.
Should have taken him.
Should we do a
Mr.
Irrelevant round and just throw
We'll circle back in a decade.
Yeah. 2035. We'll circle back.
Let me just run through who we've drafted so far. Jamie, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Nolan Smith, Jared McCain, Jalix Hunt, and Moro Ajuma.
Jared McCain playing nickel cornerback on this team.
Yeah, exactly. Jalen Carter, Tyrese Maxey, Jordan Mailata, Jalen Hurts, Tyson Forrester, and A.J. Brown. And Rich, Matvei Michkov, Cam Jurgens, Bryce Harper, Christopher Sanchez, Trey Turner, and Travis Konechny. None of us has a player from all 4 teams. That's too bad.
I don't even have a player from 2 of the teams.
Yeah.
Now, on my last pick,
should we each take a Union person?
Give me Kevin Sullivan. I only think you get 2 years out of him now, and then he's Man City. So that's not a good pick.
I don't have anybody.
Yeah, I
don't. Danny Mwanga.
Freddie Adu still
playing? Andre Blake.
Alejandro Bedoya.
I think he's still
there.
Playing.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just naming ones I know. That's all I got.
He's approaching 40. The guy I was considering before Moro, because some people in the chat were like, "Oh, he's got comp pick written all over him," or they lock him up. Was Orion Kirk?
Yes, he was on my list.
25 years old.
I have him too.
I think he's. So I was real torn there. I almost went Orion.
Did you guys consider Stott?
Yes and no.
So Yams brings up a good point in the chat. I will say, Tanner McKee.
He's 24. He was on my list.
It's a good one,
but he's gonna get traded, right? If Hurts is here for.
And it will be deeply ironic if I lose this game because the Eagles trade Jalen Hurts to make way for Tanner McKee.
That would be a good bit.
But as long as Tyson Forrester makes it the 15 years we all expect, I think I should be in good shape.
Did you consider Justin Edwards at all?
That's a good one, but he might just not be on the team next year.
Yeah. Who was the other Sixer you were considering?
Quentin Grimes.
Yeah,
24 years old. I had him.
Who actually might not be on the team next year because the Nets just pay him $25 million a year. Justin Edwards is a good one though.
You want to stick around for a few more minutes? We'll be there on Overtime, which is coming right up. Thanks for watching on Fast. Check it out on allphly.com. Do you want to go one more round?
Well,
we sort of talked them all out.
Yeah, we just kind of talked them out.
Yeah. And you can't go.
Stott is a good one, though. Like, there is a possibility, because he had, the elbow injury last year that was apparently longer lasting and more severe than anybody realized because whatever. But, like, the year before that, I mean, you thought this kid was a decade cornerstone piece. So he could be a great pick.
Could be.
If he snaps back to 2 years ago form today, that's a great pick. And we'll probably look back in 2035 and go, I can't believe none of us took Stott.
Can't believe none of us took Bobby Brink.
He was on my list.
It's a really good two-way player.
Yeah.
Bobby, of course, short for Robert Brink, That's one thing to know about him.
It's a fun fact about him. Was he Boston University? Am I going to surprise myself?
Man, I have no idea. How about this? Which of the coaches, now that Torts is gone, who lasts the longest?
Bobby Brink.
Can you just say next Flyers coach?
Oh, he was Denver.
I think it's
probably Sirianni,
right?
Yeah, right. I mean, Simmer Thompson.
You win a Super Bowl, you get.
Well, Doug only got 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
but how long's Topper got?
Not long if they don't win. If they flame out early this year,
I think the answer has to be Sirianni.
It's got to be Sirianni, right?
Yeah. I mean, Taylor Jenkins could be the next coach of the Sixers.
Sure. That's so crazy. Just Nick Sirianni. We were firing this guy.
I fired him last offseason with Bo at the Wicked Wolf in Center City. I did it right here on the show.
It's true.
Yeah, because I thought Laurie was going to be horny for Bill Belichick.
He was.
Yeah.
It's Mark Murphy level.
It's definitely
nothing like that. We don't have any super chats, do we?
What?
Thanks a lot, guys.
Nobody
Thanks
super chatted the GIMP?
Really nice.
Khalif
all of this that we did for you, you couldn't give us anything.
Khalif made a GIMP Mark Murphy.
Thanks a lot.
Jeez. It's Friday.
Unbelievable.
Aaron Moorhead.
March 28th will forever be known as GIMP Mark Murphy Day.
Khalif, you should be very proud of yourself. That was a great image.
Schedule-wise, we'll be back on Monday and Tuesday with remote shows from the owners' meetings with me and Zach.
When are you guys leaving?
Sunday.
Where is it this year?
Palm Beach.
Oh, it's always Palm Beach, right?
No, it goes like Palm Beach, Arizona, Orlando. Every now and then they do California, but it's really mainly those three.
Real pervert hub centers.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Palm Beach is like pervert central.
Sure.
No wonder Zach wants to be there. Yeah, thanks for watching and listening. We'll be back next week. And then, of course, draft season's coming. We're here. We're talking about it. The draft show with Fran Duffy will be live next Thursday at noon. And we'll have Fran talking ball and man, Bobby Brink, what a day. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. We will talk to you next week. Thanks to Rich and Jamie for hanging out. Thanks to Julia for making it happen. Good week of shows. We will talk to you later. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.
CDP with a super chat says his favorite episode of The Gimpsons. CDP, we thank you for your service.
I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up.
Really?
Married with Children and The Simpsons were...
I mean, Married with Children, I get, but Simpsons feels a little panicky.
Yeah, I know. It was. Sucked.
Have you circled back to it?
Oh, yeah. I've watched the whole... Okay. When DVDs were a thing, I bought all the seasons.
Okay. Well, so you've made it
I did
happen.
my work, yeah.
Okay. Simpsons guy, Rich?
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch Family Guy for a while. And then The Simpsons was allowed.
Should we do a quick Simpsons draft?
Sure.
All right. I'll go first. Well, let's make it a 2-round draft.
Are we talking just side characters here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we should go side characters. Like, we should take the nuclear family out of it. Oh no, this is tough. I'm gonna go.
So when we say main characters, are we talking just Simpson family members, or are we?
No, I think we can take them out. I think.
Yeah. But like,
yeah, I think just
secondary.
Yeah, like I think Ned counts.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So
There's the
good.
main. You know, your Neds, your Krusties, your. But you know what? It's a one-off joke, but it's stuck with me forever. 1-1. I'm going Disco Stew. Disco Stew doesn't advertise.
All right, I guess we'll just go in order here down the line, Rich.
Yeah,
sure.
This man makes me laugh every time he's on screen. Great, best one-liners in the show. I'm going Mo Sizlak.
Yeah, Mo's great. Mo's great.
I think I got to go Krusty. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't miss with Krusty.
I think let's go a little more niche too. Let's go Sideshow Bob next.
Oh,
Sideshow
you got
Bob's
the two hair
fantastic.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Krusty and Sideshow Bob back together again. Anything could happen.
All right. I mean, it's hard to. There's two monsters out there. It's hard not to take Ned. Part of me wants to represent the Duffy family out there and take Duffman. I'm gonna go Ned Flanders though. He's a possible Mount Rushmore character.
Okay. I think that's fair.
I can't deny the value on the board.
I'm gonna go. I feel like the prescience of Chief Wiggum, just like
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect characterization of a lot of things. Give me Chief Wiggum. Are we making this 4 rounds? Because then I'll go. Skinner is so good.
Skinner's great.
So good.
I mean,
But then you got like Dr. Nick. That's very funny.
Dr. Nick is hilarious.
Lionel Hutz. You got the one-offs if you want to go.
Groundskeeper Willie.
Groundskeeper Willie, or
some of the
monorail
kids.
salesman. Yeah, I mean, Ralph hasn't gone yet.
Dr. Hibbert.
Yeah, you could just take Millhouse of Ralph too.
Yeah. I'll go Skinner.
That's a good one.
That's a great pick. I'll go.
This is what overtime is all about, as far as I'm concerned.
I'll go Mr. Burns.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Mr. Burns is fantastic.
He drives.
What's not to like about
Yeah.
Mr. Burns?
I mean, billionaires suck, right? He's probably a billionaire by today's standards. Got to get the antagonist in there.
You went Skinner.
Oh, another super chat.
See?
Shay says, happy belated birthday to Sicko Sumac yesterday.
Nice.
Shout out
Happy
to Sumac.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Sumac.
Sumac.
All right, I'll go Groundskeeper Willie, and then I will go Edna smoking that cigarette.
Ooh. Do I grab Smithers and get the 1-2 punch of Burns and Smithers?
Yeah, I mean, you've already got Sideshow Bob and Krusty together with Rich. I mean, for you to pair, but obviously, Smithers with Mr. Burns is more funny.
The dynamic duo.
Yeah. Or do I go with one of another? It makes me laugh every time. Troy McClure.
Troy McClure is great. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go Troy McClure.
Okay. That's good.
I'll have Mr. Burns. I think he's strong enough to stand on his own.
Otto, I like.
Yep.
Otto's great.
I'm gonna close it out though. Another one-off character for me. Give me Ken Griffey Jr. So I've got Disco Stew, Chief Wiggum, Principal Skinner, and Ken Griffey Jr. And I feel pretty good about that.
Who's the one who keeps getting lost in that episode?
Is it Don? That's not Don Mattingly, is it?
Steve Sachs? Is that who it is?
It might be Steve
Sachs.
Kids want to watch me hit some home runs. I asked Preston Mattingly.
That's a different one, right? That's the Mark McGuire one. Right?
That is the Mark McGuire one. I asked Preston Mattingly at spring training last year if
have you ever seen the episode?
How was it as a kid growing up with your dad in an episode of The Simpsons? Like, forget the baseball player fame. And he said Don has still never seen the episode.
Really?
And I said, dude, you have to do me a favor and sit down with your dad one time and watch the episode. And he was like, I promise you I will try to make that happen this offseason.
Okay, we got to get to the bottom of that. All right, good stuff. See, we did get the super chats. The results are in. The people love this episode. Thank you very much. That'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. We'll see you next week. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.